5857 security.
Central 1483, clear last and showroom service. Have a good afternoon.
Have a good day.
What I want to do is kind of a prank. My dad, he's not the biggest fan of yours. I want to call him, FaceTime him. He died if he saw that I was with you.
You can do it quickly.
Hey, I got a question for you. What would you ask this guy, Dad?
I know something's going on, and I'm not shocked, although I didn't expect to see your face.
It's great to see you.
The goal is to show we've had a very good interview.
And you have a very talented son. Good guy. He's not hard having all this stuff.
The president, he never calls for.
That's no good. I'm going to put a lot of pressure. He'll call you today. Thank you very much.
All right, Dad.
Great to meet you.
What I want to do is kind of a prank. My dad, he's not the biggest fan of yours. I want to call him, FaceTime him. He died if he saw that I was with you.
You can do it quickly.
Hey, I got a question for you. What would you ask this guy, Dad?
I know something's going on, and I'm not shocked, although I didn't expect to see your face.
It's great to see you.
The goal is to show we've had a very good interview.
And you have a very talented son. Good guy. He's not hard.
Dave Portnoy. I don't remember when Dave did that interview with the, oh shit. I got a piggy right on my ass. I don't know if you saw. Something going on over here?
Dash fire, brush 6, clear of the ball road.
Pulled into a lot there.
1651.
Cutting through the parking lot? It's fucking sus. And right back out onto the road. Weird. Let me turn around. Alright, Dan. Later, dude.
Check-in. 5863.
Clear engine 1, 1652.
District 2.
Central 1403, Dallas Service. Have a good day.
Have a good night.
Hey, killer. Will do. Welcome to the stream. We just had a tornado warning here, so I'm trying to find a. I mean, it's pretty much blown over, but seeing if I can find some funnels. Hey, Midwest.
Fire Brush 3 will be complete on the ball and return to station. Clear from 3.
Yeah, we just had a good storm blow over here. This fucking idiot.
Okay, so just pass on the air from Rotation Fire. Respond priority 3, the 920 Smith, 920 Smith, Boston 9th and Weir. With a 24-year-old female, panic attack with high blood pressure. Time out, 1958.
Love when people merge at like half the speed limit.
Since the chairman has gavelled out all of my colleagues with their unanimous consent, I am going to read for the record many of the chairman's comments in September of the importance of hearing from the whistleblower. Again, Ambassador, thank you for your patience, thank you for your service, but since we haven't been able to conduct ourselves in normal procedures, I'm just going to use the 5 minutes for this. September 29th, with the Wall Street Journal, quote, the whistleblower at the center of the impeachment investigation will testify in the House very soon. This is a quote by the chairman. USA Today, September 29th. Talking with ABC News this week, Schiff, the Democrat who chairs the House Intelligence Committee, said the whistleblower would testify very soon. And the only thing standing in the way was getting security clearances for the attorneys representing the whistleblower so they could attend the testimony. From Fox, September 29th, Rep. Adam Schiff said Sunday the whistleblower at the center of a growing scandal surrounding President Donald Trump will testify before the House Intelligence Committee very soon. On CNN, September 29th, Schiff said Sunday on ABC as well as NBC's Meet the Press that he expects the whistleblower to testify very soon. The Washington Post, September 29th. In an appearance on ABC News this week, Schiff echoed Pelosi's message. He also said he expected the Intelligence Committee to hear from the whistleblower very soon, pending a security clearance from Acting Director of National Intelligence, Joseph McGuire. In the Huffington Post, Schiff told ABC's this week that he expects the whistleblower to appear before this committee very soon. In the New York Post, quote, we'll get the unfiltered testimony of that whistleblower. In the Washington Times, quote, that whistleblower will be allowed to come in. These are all quotes from Chairman Adam Schiff. In Talking Points memo, the question was posed, actually this was by George Stephanopoulos, have you reached an agreement yet with the whistleblower and his or her attorneys about coming before the committee and providing the information firsthand? Quote, yes, we have, Schiff responded, and as DNI McGuire promised during the hearing, that whistleblower will be allowed to come in without a reminder from the Justice Department or from the White House to tell the whistleblower what they can and cannot say. we'll get the unfiltered testimony of that whistleblower. In Daily Kos, we're ready to hear from the whistleblower as soon as that is done. And we'll keep obviously riding shotgun.
This person never
the
existed.
acting director doesn't delay in that clearance process. In CNBC, we'll get the unfiltered testimony of that whistleblower. In Market Watch, House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff said Sunday that an agreement has been reached under which the whistleblower will testify before the committee very soon. I can keep going, but again, the chairman refused to allow us to put these into the record with unanimous consent. So I've read those out, and as we know, it is important to protect whistleblowers from retaliation and from firing, and we want to make sure whistleblowers are able to come forward. But in this case, the fact that we are getting criticized by Chairman Adam Schiff for statements that he himself made early on in this process shows the duplicity and just the abuse of power that we are continuing to see. With a minute 54 seconds left, I'll yield to my colleague, Mr. Jordan.
But there's still 4 people we've deposed that we have not been able to use see their transcripts, have their transcripts released, and therefore the testimony they provided we're not able to use in these open hearings. If it's an open hearing, all the available testimony from depositions that has been taken by the committee should be available to be discussed for the American people to see. But no. Mr. Morris and Mr. Hale, 2 other, Miss Williams, 2 others have, and another one have not yet been released. So I hope the chairman releases that. One other point I would make in the last minute of Ms. Stefanik's time. The Democrats have asserted that this whole thing with Ambassador Yovanovitch was part of some sinister scheme by the White House.
I like Jordan.
To get Mr. Zelensky to do an investigation, President Zelensky to do an investigation. If recalling Ambassador Yovanovitch was part of some scheme by Trump and Pompeo and Giuliani to get President Zelensky to do an investigation, why would they replace her with the Democrats' first witness, their star witness, Bill Taylor? I mean, if that's the plan, not the best plan I've ever seen put together. Their star witness, their first witness, Mr. Taylor, was here Wednesday. That's what they were up to? I think it just demonstrates that is not what went on here. Mr. Zelensky never undertook any investigations, and the reason the aid was released, as we discussed on Wednesday, is because Vice President Pence, Ambassador Bolton, and U.S. senators all talked with President Zelensky, and they were convinced he was the real deal, as the ambassador has alluded to in her testimony. That's why the money was released. That I yield back.
First, most of what the whistleblower has alleged has been corroborated by the witnesses that we have heard from. Second, the president, who my colleagues so shamelessly continue to defend, continue to pressure, threaten, and intimidate the whistleblower. So I'd like unanimous consent to put into the record a September 26, 2019 article from Business Insider. Trump suggested the whistleblower who filed a complaint against him is guilty of treason, which is punishable by death. Without objection. How about September 26, 2019, Vanity Fair? Trump suggests executing the whistleblower's sources like, quote, in the good old days. Third, without objection. September 29th, whistleblower's lawyer raises fear for client safety. From Axios. Mr. Chairman, the whistleblower has an absolute right to anonymity. The whistleblower's lawyer has said that he fears for his personal safety and will only answer questions now in writing. I wish my colleagues would join me in protecting the whistleblower's right to anonymity.
Didn't exist.
I want to follow up on some of the questions from my colleagues. Some of the early questions seem to suggest that your testimony here was completely irrelevant to the issues at hand. Why are you even here? Isn't this just some small matter that should have been referred to HR? So I want to bring our attention to someone who thought you were actually very important to this whole plot or scheme, and that is the President of the United States. There was only one ambassador, I believe, who was discussed by the President in the July 25th call, and that was you, Ambassador Yovanovitch. And I want to refer back to how you were brought up in that conversation. At one point during the conversation, the President brings up this prosecutor who was very good, and it was shut down, and it's really unfair. And I think you indicated earlier that that was a likely reference to Mr. Lutsenko, the corrupt prosecutor. Is that right?
I believe that is the case, but I don't know.
So immediately after the president brings up this corrupt
Jody.
former prosecutor. Only one, I'm sorry, my staff's critical. Only one American ambassador brought up in the call. Immediately after the president brings up this corrupt prosecutor that he praises and says was treated very unfairly, he then encourages Zelensky to speak with Giuliani, the guy who orchestrated the smear campaign against you, correct?
Yes.
And he then brings you up. So he praises the corrupt prosecutor. He says, I want you to talk to Giuliani, the guy who smeared you. And then he brings you up. He obviously thought you were relevant to this. But what is even more telling is immediately after he brings you up and says that you, a woman, was bad news, he says there's a lot to talk about Biden's son. Biden stopped the prosecution, and a lot of people want to find out about that, so whatever you can do with the Attorney General would be great. Immediately after praising this corrupt prosecutor, he attacks you. And then he goes right to Biden. It would indicate to you, wouldn't it, Ambassador, that he connects you somehow with this prosecutor you were at odds with and his desire to see this investigation of Biden go forward? Would it not?
Again, you're absolutely right that is the thought progression.
My colleagues also asked, in pushing you out of the way, ultimately Ambassador Taylor got appointed. Is Ambassador Taylor the kind of person that would further Giuliani's aims? And I think we can all agree that Ambassador Taylor is a remarkable public servant.
Absolutely.
But what if the president could put someone else in place that wasn't a career diplomat? What if he could put in place a substantial donor to his inaugural? What if he could put in place someone with no diplomatic experience at all? What if he could put in place someone whose portfolio doesn't even include Ukraine? Might that person be willing to work with Rudy Giuliani in pursuit of these investigations?
Maybe.
Well, that's exactly what happened, wasn't it?
Yes.
You might also say, well, the security assistance ultimately went through. So if they sought to condition or bribe Ukraine into doing these investigations by withholding security assistance, they ultimately paid the money. Are you aware, Ambassador, that the security assistance was not released until after a whistleblower complaint made its way to White House?
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Are you aware that it was not released until Congress announced it was doing an investigation?
Yes, I'm aware of that.
And finally, I want to ask you about the call record that my colleague read at the outset. Curious about this, just for people watching at home so they're not confused. There are two calls here. There's the perfunctory congratulatory call after Zelensky's inaugurated, which my ranking member read this morning. And then there's, of course, the very problematic call in July. One of the reasons we are here is what happened between April and July. But there was a readout put out by the White House at the time the April congratulatory call was made. And the White House readout said that the president discussed with Zelensky helping Ukraine root out corruption. Now that in fact doesn't appear anywhere in that call. So I want to ask you, Ambassador, why would the White House put out an inaccurate reading? Why would the White House represent that the president said something about corruption when he said something about corruption in that call, or in fact in the one in July?
I can't answer that question. I don't have visibility.
I thank you. Yield out 5 minutes now to recognize the ranking member.
Just to remind the gentleman, there's actually three calls. There's the two calls with President Trump and the one that reiterated in our last 2 weeks ago. Ambassador, I just want to clarify something before I yield. Are you against political appointed ambassadors? Is it not the president's prerogative to appoint whoever he wants in any country?
First of all, I am not against political ambassadors.
I just wanted to clear that up. Now, can I get to Ms. Stefanik?
There's all these people on the side of the road. What time is it? Them clouds, man, that looks nasty. Ooh. Pretty much blew right over though. It came down hard for a minute. Tired.
For what? Yes, I am. According to who? You got a press badge? I got my whole press badge, bro. This is my company. I'm inDOCtriNATION. Oh, wait, you can't do this, but you gotta have a press badge. Of course, press badge from where? Who issued the press badge? I don't know who issued it. I just got it from. How do I get one if you can't? How? I'm meeting. How you don't have a press badge? I don't need a press badge to be one. No, I don't.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is News Now Ninja, and today's video comes to you from Dalton, Illinois, where Tiffany Henry and her goons have been under heavy scrutiny by everybody from mainstream media to independent journalists. And the most disturbing part is that the videos don't seem to be getting better, but quite in fact the opposite, because it seems with each video that comes out, they double down with tyranny. Shout out to the Real Late Night Crew channel.
That bounce, man, he wishes.
And bringing it to the public's attention.
It's one like he wants. It is a nice looking Mercedes.
This man, and he's going to stand his ground. Let me know what you think about this video in the comments section, and let's get straight to the action.
Yeah, it's nice. It's even got a expandable roof too. The roof goes up even higher.
And as you can see,
like $100,000 for that thing at least.
In 2-hour camera. We're the only people back there recording at that time. She motions over a William Moore department head. William Moore turns, looks over his shoulder at me, and then within 30 seconds, this happens.
Oh shit. Can't go. Red arrow. Don't turn on red.
I heard Lacey be at these meetings, but I have not seen him. Hey, boo. No. For what? You're not a sister, maybe. Yes, I am. According to who? According to who? It's just some kind of movement. Of course I ain't. Yes, I am. You got a press badge? I got my whole press badge, bro. This is my company. I'm inDOCtriNATION. Oh, well, you can't be here, but you gotta have a press badge. Of course, a press badge from where? Who issued the press badge? I don't know who issued it. I just got it from. How do I get one if you can't? How? I'm meeting. How you don't have a press badge? I don't need a press badge to be one. No, I don't. No, I don't.
Pizza burger?
I don't.
I don't know what I'm getting tonight.
That's you just
probably some soup.
I don't need a press badge. Please. I need a press badge to be pressed. They don't issue press badges. Yeah. I got it. Appreciate you.
Free chili? Yeah. All right. I'm in the great city of Rossford.
our chief going to start the town hall meeting, just so you know how to work. We will vote on a moderator. Moderator will come up to the day of the meeting, and then you guys will have an opportunity to vote.
All right, listen to what that guy just said. Here's the deal. You don't have to leave, but I have to stand in front of your camera because I'm doing what I was told. So that means that he was instructed to stand in front of this man's camera. But by who? And for what reason? Y'all let me know what you think in the comment section.
We will vote on a moderator. Moderator will come up to the day of the meeting, and then you guys will have an opportunity to vote.
I'm just asking questions. I ain't mad at you, bro. You should, like, who's saying this so I can know who I can say this to. So whoever you say this is violating the First Amendment rights. Where do I get this ID from? That's not a real thing. It's not a competition. That's not a real thing. They're getting you in trouble. I'm just telling you. They're getting you in trouble. That's what it's on you to do. You're not doing it. Blatant suppression.
All right.
Blatant media suppression. Y'all
Good
see
evening, everyone.
3,000 people witnesses.
Well, for the record, in accordance with state statutes, legal notice of the annual meeting of township. Therefore, anyone wishing to make a motion, second a motion, ask a question, make a comment, or otherwise address the
All right,
chair
I'm gonna go.
must state clearly.
All right, you can't even make this stuff up. This man is wearing a hat that says freedom while he's attempting to suppress a man of his freedoms.
Later.
Shout out to the Real Late Night crew for standing his ground against this tyranny.